All right, the LA Chargers just got some awesome AFC West news and a division that I think has been viewed as what is possibly one of the best divisions over the last decade. I think it's kind of up there for the grabs. There's some good teams, don't get me wrong, but we're going to talk about why it is there. And an article came out on The Athletic, which is awesome, by the way. I love The Athletic, and this isn't even a paid promo. All right, I really do enjoy The Athletic, but they came out with an AFC West preview, and as I'm reading through it, all I can think to myself is the Chargers are in a prime seat, not only to compete for the division, but I think to win this division this year. I think they absolutely could win the division, and I'll give you a couple reasons why I believe that to be true as we go through each team and as we talk about each team in the division. Before we get into that, if you are newer to this channel, my name is Craig. Me and my buddy Chris started this like a year ago. I took like 6 months off, family, all that kind of stuff, but here's what I'm here to tell you. This isn't our first channel, and this isn't our first team. Yeah, we're being honest. We are Detroit Lions fans. Always, both of us have had a connection with the Chargers. And then when Jim Harbaugh went there, it's like, giddy up. Let's go. We need to cover this team all the time. So that is what we're doing now. And so we're covering this team, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. But why, let's get back to it, do I think you have good news in the AFC? First off, they did win totals that they thought for each team. They had the Chiefs at 11.5 wins, and so that is the team they picked to win the division because, of course, you do. Like, why wouldn't you pick the Chiefs? All right, so here's the problem. The Chiefs have question marks in very unique places. And one of the biggest question marks is also at one of the most important positions, and it's left tackle. In 2024, their second-round pick, all right, Kingsley Salmatai, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. He was last year's expected starter. He was terrible. His PFF grade was 136th out of 140 qualifying tackles. That's bad. Remember, they moved guard Joe Thuney over to left tackle, which actually worked out okay until the Super Bowl when it became very clear he's not a left tackle. He's gone. I'm pretty sure he went to the Bears, right? So Thuney's gone. They've brought in former 49ers backup Jalen Moore, and they got Ohio State's talented but currently injured Josh Simmons, who they drafted in the first round. There are no actual answers there. There's none of it. All right, now I look over to the rest of their offense. When Patrick Mahomes, when you look at him, his deep ball is what was so successful and made this Chiefs offense so unbelievably explosive for so many years. Here's the problem. Tyreek Hill was there. So you can say, oh, yeah, but now they got Xavier Worthy. He's not Tyreek Hill. And he's not big, so I don't think you can give him 140 targets. But here's the problem. It's not that Tyreek Hill is gone. Patrick Mahomes, if you look at the metric, Patrick Mahomes' accuracy is gone. And the reason his accuracy has been gone the last 2 or 3 years is because his offensive line has not been good the last 2 or 3 years. They haven't taken care of the offensive line. Chargers have taken care of the offensive line. All right, so they are the only team in this division that has a quarterback that is at the level of Herbert, but there's an offensive line in front of them that struggles. Now let's talk about the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, if you look at what traditionally is the most important stat for quarterback success in the NFL, which is intermediate passes. I want to say Bo Nix was one of the worst qualifying starting passers in this league when it comes to his efficiency on intermediate passes and accuracy. The other question you have to ask yourselves is the run game fixed? You know they just signed J.K. Dobbins, who is often injured. His most uninjured season was with you, and he only played like 12 games. Then they bring in R.J. Harvey. Okay, great. So it's like, is this going to pair like the Saints, Kamara, and Ingram? Maybe. But we don't know. It's unproven. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that it is an unproven run game. It is a quarterback that was good as a rookie, but most rookie quarterbacks have a little bit of a sophomore slump. And I think the Broncos were a feel-good team last year. Like, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they don't have the talent. I just think the Chargers are going to remain a year ahead. I think the Broncos got there with a little luck. I think the Chargers got there with a bit of skill. That's what I think happened. Okay, they were predicted to have 9.5 wins. That's the over-under on them. Okay, you can't actually have 9.5 wins. I get that. All right, the over-under means they believe it'll be 9 or 10. Because you can't do the over-under if it's a straight one, because then you have to give your money back to everybody who just got it straight. And by straight one, I mean 9 or 10. All right, and wins. Now you have the Chargers. 9.5 wins is their over-under as well. Bet the over. Bet the over. Hammer the over. All right, not that it would encourage betting. Great head coach. Okay, and this is a division that might have the best coaching in all of football. From top to bottom. Okay, especially you bring in Pete Carroll. You got Harbaugh. All right, you've got Sean Payton. You got Andy Reid. Not a lot going on there. So while the Chiefs have questions on their outside of their offensive line, the Chargers might have some questions on the interior, except they actually went out and got people that are more proven to do it, all right, to fix that. They went out and got a guard that has played well in Mekhi Becton. That is what they went out and did, and they said, no, we're just going to keep our good tackles there. All right? Nobody can make the argument that they didn't improve in the wide receiver room, but their wide receivers with Ladd McConkey proved to be okay last year. They absolutely did. And you can sit here and you can look at the defense and be like, is there enough stars on the defense? Is it talented enough? It was talented enough last year. Why wouldn't it be again this year? And that's what I think is so interesting about this division. Nobody gives the credit for how good the defenses are. I think we go out there and everybody kind of has these, look, again, you're in California. I'm in Michigan, right? And so when I think of the AFC West, I think of nice jerseys, offense, right? You got the Raiders airing it out. The Chargers have had great offenses throughout the years with Phillip Rivers, with Fouts, with Tomlinson. All of these things. Same with the Raiders. The Chiefs with the best quarterback in football. I'm doing this. I don't want to be that mean. I do think Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in football right now. I know you hate to hear that, right? But he probably is. And then Broncos with Elway and then Peyton Manning for a couple years. Come on, the offenses. But right now, these are defensive teams. Every single one of them. Every single one of them have great defenses. And I will spend a little bit of time talking about the last team, the Raiders. Look, don't get me wrong. They're going to be better. They're going to be better. We have another channel called Sports Talk Extra where we talk about a bunch of other NFL teams. And the Raiders is, believe it or not, one of the teams we talk about. Don't hate us. All right. And I think they're doing things in a professional way and getting it done the right way, just like the Chargers did last year. But I don't know that the talent is still there yet to compete in such a good division where there are 3 very good teams. All right. I think the division goes Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders. And that's good news for you. All right. There it is. Who can't make a bold prediction at the end of June? Hey, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.